hope you're okay and all keeping safe. Today I thought we'd do some sweet scones. These are going to be plain sweet scones, but you can add things in. I'll suggest ideas as I go along. One of the first clips was a cheesy scone round, and it's very similar method and really preparation, so if you've enjoyed those you might enjoy a sweet version. In here I've got 225 grams of self-raising flour. Now I couldn't find self-raising flour and I've used all mine up, so what you do is to make plain flour into self-raising flour you just add baking powder, and on the back of the packet it usually will advise you how much to put in. And so I've got 225 plain flour and I think it's 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and that equals self-raising flour. That's your raising agent. This recipe also has an extra teaspoon of baking powder. So remember your teaspoon is a small spoon, and I've already put mine in. So that's there, in there. So 225 plain flour, 1 teaspoon, with baking powder, and then 1 extra teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, hope that doesn't confuse you too much. Into here we're going to put 35 grams of butter or margarine, so it's not very much. The scones are not like a cake, they're quite dense and not that sweet either, so you can add extra flavours, and you can have butter and cream and jam with them as well. So the butter's gone in, and this is a technique we use quite a lot in cooking. You should know by now what it is, rubbing in method. So we make the butter, smaller pieces so you can handle it, and basically just rub it in using your fingertips. And if you remember, rubbing in is so that the mixture, the fat just disappears into the flour and it looks like breadcrumbs. Now, because there's a lot of flour in this recipe and not much butter, it doesn't take you long at all. And especially if you use soft butter or margarine like I've used, it just disappears into your mixture. Okay? You can see that's gone, disappeared. Looks like breadcrumbs. Give your bowl a shake, and any big fat lumps of margarine or butter will rise to the top, and you can just grab them. Then I'm going to add my sweetener, which of course is sugar. So that's going to be 25 grams of sugar. So again, not a huge amount. And if you wanted to, you could add chocolate chips, raisins, chocolate cherries are nice in there as well. And you could even add things like grated apple. Now that's really nice, but the only thing with a grated apple or a pear or something that's quite wet is it will alter the amount of liquid you need to add. Okay? So if you're adding anything wet in there, just bear that in mind. And as usual with all cooking, you just trial and error sometimes, just trying things out for yourself and see what works and what doesn't work. So there's my basic powder mix, and I'm going to make it into a dough by adding milk, and in this case an egg. Now the egg, if you haven't got an egg or you don't want to add it, it's fine, you just add plain milk. But the egg adds a bit of richness, and it really is a nice soft recipe, a nice soft scone recipe this. So remember how you do your egg, hold it, give it a whack in the middle with a knife I usually use, and then you pull the shell apart, don't squash it, pull it, okay? And then your eggshell would go in the bin. To prevent any contamination, you should really wash your hands after that as well. Give that a whisk in there. Oops. And this is going to bind my powdery mix together. And before I forget, your oven needs to be preheated, so that's on fan oven 200, or quite hot, gas mark 6/7 almost, or 220, just plain electric oven, because we won't put a hot oven for these because they rise quite quickly. And they're not in there for long, about 10 minutes, but keep an eye on it. You'll know your own oven, whether it's slightly on the hot side or slightly on the cool side. So I've got the egg and milk mixture, and this is the only really risky bit of this recipe, adding too much. So I'm going to add most of it, saved a little bit there, and I'm going to just stir that in. binding it all together to make a dough. Okay, and again, experience, bit of judgment, you start to practice, you start to realise how much you need. So I know I need nearly all of it. I'll keep an eye on it, give it a really good stir. Okay, and you can see and all the crumbs have more or less disappeared, and there's no big dry bits of powder, but also it's not like dead soggy, that is ready. And can you see? It's like a proper dough. Okay, so I'll pull it together with my fingertips, and it should stick together nicely without really trying hard. If you find it's falling to bits, you need a bit more or a drop more milk and egg and milk. You can even wet your fingertips if you're really worried about adding too much. So the dough's like this, and I'm not having to work hard at all. And really it's better if it's softer, you know, so I'm not having to work hard to make it stick together. I'm going to put a sprinkling of flour on. You don't have to if it's not sticking. Remember, flour doesn't taste that great. If you're adding loads to the mixture, it'll spoil the taste of your scone. So you're just purely using it to stop it from sticking. Okay? Now, you can, if you want, roll it, but I find sometimes with rolling, people get carried away and they make more of a biscuit. So be wary of that. A scone is more of a cake, not a biscuit. So you can really just use your hands to press it down. You've got a bit more control then. And try and do it in one go, okay? The scone should be, in the old money, about an inch. So in new terms, about 2 centimetres, something like that. So if you want to, you could cook that like that and score it into triangles, okay? Like a cake. And when I say score it, you just go halfway down. And when it's cooked, it'll puff up and you can separate it. However, if you've got cutters, you can use a cutter instead. It's really up to you. So the good thing about doing it as a scone round is there's no waste at all, and you don't have to re-roll or anything. But you might like to cut out, so I'm going to cut some out. I don't think I'm going to make that many. I was a bit optimistic saying 10. So the cutter goes on. I'm going to put it on my baking tray. Okay, and don't forget, dough like this, it's not like bread dough, it doesn't like being handled, so the less you handle it, the better. So I know it's quite nice to squidge it and think, ooh, this feels like fun, and rolling it, but if the more you do that, it'll toughen your dough up, because you overwork the gluten, which we've heard about, year 8s will have done when we talk about bread. The gluten's the protein in the flour. So, I was very over the top saying about 10, wasn't I? I think I'm only going to make 6. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying not to knead it at all, really. And I don't mind if there's a few lines. I'm trying not to have any waste whatsoever. I mean, I could just pop that on. I might pop that on just to try it when it comes out. There we go. And then the last stage is with my little bit of spare milk. And did I tell you it was, I think, 100 millilitres of milk and one large egg, okay? I'm just going to glaze it, okay? And with scones, it doesn't matter if they stick together. It's a bit like when you buy them in the shops or when you buy bread rolls. If they're stuck together, you just separate them. They're easy to separate, so it's absolutely fine. So you can use a smaller baking tray and you can actually pop them together like that if you want. Let's see what they turn out like if I do that. Sometimes at school we'll sprinkle some sugar on the top, like granulated sugar or demerara sugar, brown sugar on top to make them crunchy as well. But I'm not going to do that today. Okay, and don't forget, there's another flavour you could do, which would be raisin and cinnamon, might be quite nice. Okay, so I'm going to put those in the oven for about 10-15 minutes until they're golden brown. They should, fingers crossed, rise up. Okay. Okay, the scones have been in for about 10-12 minutes. That's all they took. And you can see how well risen they are. And if you just break them apart, okay, like that, let them cool a little bit, you can see how lovely and soft they are. So all you need to do, you can either let them cool or you can dig in right now. And basically you can split them, you can pull them with your fingers, they're that soft. And I'm going to have mine with some jam and some cream. Now there's a big argument about what goes on first for jam with the cream, and between Cornwall and Devon. I'm sure Mrs Harris, who's from Cornwall, will have something to say about it. I can't remember which way round it is, so I'm putting jam first and cream second. I've just whipped up some double cream, but you could use extra thick cream, or you could even, if you're going to eat it straight away, you could even use the squirty cream. Okay, so, and that looks pretty nice, but you could put chocolate spread on and anything else that takes your fancy. So I hope you enjoy those over half term. Keep safe everyone, and see you soon. Bye.